Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that something has changed. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gradually. You may notice that your energy is different. Your sleep is lighter. Stress seems to affect you more than it used to. Your body takes a little longer to recover from a busy day. Perhaps you also notice changes in your sexual well-being, your comfort, or your interest in intimacy. Many women are taught to treat these changes as something they should simply accept. But aging is not a switch that turns healthy living off. And sexual health is not an isolated part of the body that exists separately from the heart, the brain, the muscles, the blood vessels, sleep, emotions, or metabolism. It is deeply connected to the way the entire body functions. That is one of the most important ideas to understand. When we talk about women's sexual health, we are not simply talking about sex. We are talking about circulation. We are talking about nervous system health. We are talking about energy. We are talking about sleep. We are talking about stress. We are talking about physical comfort, self-confidence, relationships, and the ability to feel well inside your own body. And that means there is something empowering hidden inside the science of healthy aging. The goal is not to chase youth. The goal is to protect function. The goal is to help your body continue doing what it is designed to do. Move blood, regulate hormones, repair tissues, manage stress, maintain muscle, support the brain, and create the conditions in which well-being can thrive. So let us begin with a simple truth. Your sexual health does not begin in the bedroom. It begins with the health of your blood vessels. Every organ in the body depends on an adequate blood supply. Blood carries oxygen, nutrients, hormones, signaling molecules, and the resources tissues need to function. When circulation is healthy, tissues receive what they need. When vascular health declines, many systems can be affected. This is why habits that protect cardiovascular health can also support sexual well-being. Think about what happens when you walk briskly, climb a few stairs, dance in your kitchen, swim, cycle, or take a regular walk outdoors. Your heart responds, your breathing changes, your blood vessels adapt, your muscles demand more oxygen. The body becomes a coordinated network rather than a collection of isolated organs. That movement matters. Physical activity is not simply about weight, appearance, or athletic performance. Those ideas are far too narrow. Movement is one of the ways you communicate with your body. You are telling your cardiovascular system, stay adaptable. You are telling your muscles, remain useful. You are telling your nervous system, keep responding. You are telling your brain, maintain these connections. And you are helping your body preserve the physical capacity that supports independence and quality of life. One of the most practical habits for healthy aging is therefore astonishingly simple. Move consistently. You do not need to become an athlete. You do not need a complicated workout plan. You do not need to punish yourself. A regular walking routine can be meaningful. Strength exercises appropriate to your ability can be meaningful. Gentle mobility work can be meaningful. Dancing, gardening, swimming, cycling, or climbing stairs can all contribute to a more active lifestyle. The key is consistency. Your body responds to what you repeatedly do. And this is especially important because muscle mass and physical capacity tend to change with age. Preserving strength can make daily life easier and can support confidence. When a woman feels stronger in her body, she may also feel more capable of participating in the activities that make life enjoyable. That matters for sexual health because sexual well-being is not only about biological function. It is also about whether you feel comfortable, energetic, mobile, and present enough to participate in your own life. And this brings us to another major piece of the puzzle: nutrition. Food is not a magic sexual health treatment. There is no single berry, spice, seed, oil, or drink that can suddenly transform every aspect of a woman's health. But there are eating patterns that support the systems involved in healthy aging. That distinction is incredibly important. Instead of asking, what one food can fix this? A more useful question is, what pattern of eating supports my blood vessels, brain, gut, metabolism, and overall resilience? That question leads us toward a very different approach. A nourishing diet often includes a variety of vegetables and fruits, beans and lentils, nuts and seeds, whole grains, fish or other protein sources, and minimally processed foods. The exact combination can vary according to culture, preferences, budget, allergies, medical needs, and personal circumstances. What matters is the overall pattern. Why? because your body does not operate on isolated nutrients. It operates through networks. Your blood vessels respond to metabolic conditions. Your gut interacts with your immune system. Your liver processes nutrients and hormones. Your brain interprets signals from the body. Your muscles use glucose and fatty acids for energy. Your cardiovascular system adapts to activity and diet. Your entire physiology is interconnected. That is why a food-first approach can be more valuable than hunting for a miracle supplement. Consider foods rich in plant compounds, colorful vegetables, berries, legumes, herbs, spices, and other plant foods contain thousands of naturally occurring compounds. Some of these compounds interact with cellular pathways involved in oxidative stress, inflammation, and vascular function. That does not mean eating one superfood produces a dramatic change overnight. It means that over time, a diverse diet can help create a nutritional environment that supports normal body functions. Think of it like gardening. You do not water a garden once and demand a forest tomorrow. You create the right conditions repeatedly: water, nourishment, sunlight, healthy soil, time. Your body deserves the same kind of patience. And there is another reason nutrition matters: metabolic health. When blood sugar regulation, blood pressure, cholesterol, and overall cardiovascular health are poorly controlled, the effects can reach far beyond the heart. Vascular health is important throughout the body. That is one reason preventive health matters so much for women as they age. Many women spend years taking care of everyone else and putting their own health last. They may prioritize their families, their careers, their responsibilities, and their relationships while ignoring symptoms that deserve attention. But your body is not an interruption to your life. Your body is the place where your life happens. And when something changes persistently, whether it is discomfort, fatigue, sleep disruption, mood changes, pain, or sexual health concerns, you deserve to take it seriously. You do not have to be embarrassed. You do not have to assume that everyone experiences this, and you certainly do not have to suffer silently. A qualified healthcare professional can help determine whether a change is related to normal aging, medication effects, menopause, cardiovascular factors, pelvic floor issues, hormonal changes, mental health, relationship stress, sleep problems, or another underlying condition. That is what preventive medicine is about, not waiting until a small problem becomes a big one. Now let us talk about something that is frequently underestimated: sleep. Sleep may seem unrelated to sexual health, but the human body does not have separate operating systems for sleep, mood, metabolism, and sexual well-being. Sleep affects many of them at once. When you consistently sleep poorly, you may wake up less restored. You may feel more irritable. Concentration can become more difficult. Stress can feel stronger. Exercise may feel harder. Appetite and food choices can shift. Your emotional bandwidth may shrink. And when you are exhausted, your body often prioritizes survival and recovery over optional activities. That is not weakness, it is biology. This is why improving sleep can be one of the most underestimated forms of self-care. A stable sleep schedule can help. A relaxing bedtime routine can help. A comfortable, dark sleeping environment can help. Reducing stimulating activities late at night can help. Addressing persistent snoring, breathing problems, insomnia, or other sleep concerns with a clinician can help. You do not need to create a perfect bedtime ritual. You need to create conditions that allow your nervous system to settle. And that brings us to stress. Stress is not imaginary. Your nervous system responds to perceived demands by changing heart rate, breathing, muscle tension, attention, and hormone signaling. A little stress can be useful. Chronic stress is different. When stress becomes a constant background signal, it can influence sleep, mood, appetite, energy, and many other aspects of daily life. For women trying to maintain sexual well-being as they age, stress management deserves far more attention than it usually receives. Because intimacy requires presence, and it is difficult to feel present when your mind is running through an endless list of responsibilities. Maybe you are worrying about money. Maybe you are caring for an aging parent. Maybe you are helping your children. Maybe you are managing work. Maybe you are navigating changes in your relationship. Maybe you are simply carrying years of accumulated mental pressure. Your body knows. Sometimes the most important health intervention is not another pill or another supplement. It is creating space to recover. That can take many forms: a slow walk, time outdoors, breathing exercises, meditation, prayer, journaling, talking with someone you trust, listening to music, gentle stretching, creative activities, a real conversation with your partner. The method matters less than the principle. Your nervous system needs opportunities to move from constant alertness toward restoration. Now, there is another subject we need to approach with care: hormones. As women move through different stages of life, hormonal changes can influence many aspects of health. Menopause, in particular, is a major physiological transition. It is not a disease, but it can come with real symptoms and real changes. Some women experience changes in sleep, body temperature regulation, mood, vaginal comfort, sexual function, or other areas of well-being. The mistake is to assume that every symptom should simply be endured. The opposite mistake is to assume that one supplement, one detox, or one internet remedy will solve everything. Neither approach is ideal. A better approach is individualized care. Understand what is changing. Understand how severe it is. Understand how long it has been happening. Understand whether medications, medical conditions, stress, sleep, or relationship factors might be involved. Then discuss those concerns with a qualified clinician. This is especially important when symptoms are persistent, painful, sudden, or significantly affecting your quality of life. Women deserve evidence-based care rather than shame, and they deserve better than being told that discomfort is simply the price of getting older. Healthy aging does not mean pretending nothing changes. Healthy aging means adapting intelligently to change. That is a very different philosophy. And perhaps one of the most important habits of all is to protect your cardiovascular system. Your heart and blood vessels are central to long-term health. Blood pressure matters, cholesterol matters, blood sugar matters, smoking status matters, physical activity matters, diet matters, sleep matters, stress matters. Each one may seem like a separate topic, but together they create the environment in which your body functions. This is where simple habits become powerful. A regular walk, a plate filled with a variety of plant foods, enough protein to support healthy muscle, adequate hydration, consistent sleep, regular medical checkups, no tobacco, moderation with substances that can impair health. These choices are not glamorous. They probably will not become viral overnight, but health is often built from ordinary actions repeated for years. That is the part people do not want to hear because we are attracted to dramatic transformations. We want the secret food, the secret drink, the secret 5-minute trick, the single nutrient that changes everything. But human physiology rarely works like that. Biology is cumulative. The small signals add up. Your cells receive signals from your diet. Your muscles receive signals from movement. Your brain receives signals from sleep. Your nervous system receives signals from your environment. Your blood vessels experience the effects of blood pressure and metabolic health. And over time, these signals influence how resilient your body is. This is why prevention can be so powerful. You are not merely reacting to aging. You are influencing the environment in which aging occurs. Now let us talk about something that cannot be measured by a blood test, but matters enormously. Body confidence. Many women grow up in cultures that teach them to judge their bodies. They are encouraged to compare, to criticize, to hide, to chase unrealistic ideals. And as the body changes with age, these messages can become even louder. But there is a difference between taking care of your health and fighting your body. Health is not a competition. Your value is not determined by how closely you resemble an artificial standard. Sexual well-being should not require you to feel ashamed of your appearance. A body that has lived through decades deserves respect. It has healed from illnesses. It has adapted to stress. It has carried you through work, family life, joy, disappointment, movement, rest, and countless ordinary days. That body is worthy of care. And confidence does not mean believing you are perfect. Confidence can mean feeling safe enough to stop constantly criticizing yourself. It can mean choosing clothes that make you comfortable. It can mean moving because movement feels good. It can mean eating because food nourishes you, rather than because you are punishing yourself. It can mean setting boundaries. It can mean asking questions at a medical appointment. It can mean telling your partner when something is uncomfortable. It can mean recognizing that your needs matter. That is a powerful component of healthy aging. Communication also deserves attention. Sexual health is not purely biological. Relationships influence it. A partner may not understand what has changed unless you explain it. You may not know what your partner is experiencing unless you ask. Silence creates assumptions. Conversation creates understanding. A healthy relationship does not require either person to pretend that nothing changes with age. Bodies change, energy changes, priorities change, stress changes, health changes. A mature relationship can make room for those changes. That might mean discussing comfort, timing, emotional connection, stress, or what helps each person feel supported. The goal is not performance. The goal is connection. And that distinction can transform how women think about sexual wellness. You are not taking an exam. You are not trying to meet an imaginary standard. You are taking care of a human body and a human life. Now let us return to the 5 major habits at the heart of this discussion. First, move your body consistently. Second, eat in a way that supports cardiovascular and metabolic health. Third, protect your sleep and manage chronic stress. Fourth, take persistent symptoms seriously and seek appropriate healthcare. Fifth, nurture emotional connection, self-respect, and healthy communication. These habits may sound simple, but simple does not mean insignificant. In fact, the most effective health habits are often simple enough to repeat. A complicated routine that lasts 2 weeks is less useful than a realistic routine that becomes part of your life. Imagine two women. One woman decides she needs to change everything immediately. She buys 10 supplements. She starts a punishing exercise schedule. She eliminates half the foods she enjoys. She sleeps 4 hours because she stays up researching health trends. After a few weeks, she is exhausted and stops. Another woman starts with a 20-minute walk most days. She adds vegetables and beans to meals she already enjoys. She works toward a more regular bedtime. She schedules a medical appointment for a concern she has been ignoring. She starts having honest conversations with her partner. Neither approach is perfect, but one is sustainable. And sustainable health habits have a tremendous advantage. They continue. That is how healthy aging works. Not through perfection, through repetition. Not through fear, through understanding. Not through punishment, through support. And there is a final idea I want you to remember. Your sexual health is not a measure of whether you are young enough. It is not a test you pass or fail. It is one part of your overall health and quality of life. Some women will experience few changes. Some will experience many. Some will want help. Some will not. There is no single correct experience. What matters is whether you have the information, support, and healthcare access needed to make decisions that are right for your body and your circumstances. And when something feels different, you deserve to be heard. Do not let embarrassment become a barrier to care. Do not let a social media trend replace a medical evaluation. Do not let the promise of a miracle product distract you from the foundations of health. And do not assume that aging means you have to stop caring about your own well-being. Aging can be a time of greater self-knowledge, greater confidence, greater clarity, greater appreciation for health, greater ability to set boundaries, greater understanding of what truly matters. The goal is not to turn back the clock. The goal is to make the years ahead healthier, more comfortable, more active, and more fulfilling. That is the deeper meaning of healthy aging. It is not about looking younger. It is about functioning well. It is about supporting your heart, supporting your brain, supporting your muscles, supporting your sleep, supporting your emotional health, supporting your relationships, and yes, supporting your sexual well-being as part of the whole picture. So start with one habit, not 10, one. Take a walk, improve one meal, create a calmer bedtime, book the appointment you have been postponing, have the conversation you have been avoiding, then repeat that choice tomorrow and the next day, because your body listens to patterns. It listens to what you do consistently. Every healthy meal is a signal. Every walk is a signal. Every good night of sleep is a signal. Every preventive checkup is a signal. Every moment of stress relief is a signal. Every honest conversation is a signal. None of these actions has to be perfect to matter. They simply have to be repeated often enough to become part of your life. And that is where the real opportunity lies. You do not need to search endlessly for a miracle. You can build health from the ground up. You can protect the systems that support your circulation. You can nourish the cells that make up your body. You can preserve strength.